ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਗੈਸਟ ਬਹੁਤ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਇਨ ਦ ਮੈਡੀਕਲ ਟੀਮ ਓਕੇ ਨਾਓ ਆਈ ਕੈਨ ਰਿਵੀਲ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਡਾਇਬੀਟੀਜ਼ ਬਾਰੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ
ਅਕਾਲ ਚੈਨਲ ਨੂੰ ਸਬਸਕ੍ਰਾਈਬ ਕਰੋ ਨਵੀਂ ਵੀਡੀਓਜ਼ ਦੀ ਨੋਟੀਫਿਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਬੈਲ ਆਈਕਨ ਨੂੰ ਕਲਿੱਕ ਕਰਨਾ ਨਾ ਭੁੱਲਣਾ
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ ਮਾਈ ਨੇਮ ਇਜ਼ ਪਾਲ ਜਾਲੀ
And my name is Preeti Kaur.
ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਇਨ ਦ ਲੇਟ ਸ਼ੋ
Thank you once again for joining us on an inspirational and educational show.
107 countries.
And
You forgot that
107
again.
countries.
107 countries. Yeah.
We're still getting used to it.
No, it's very important. Honestly, feel so proud and privileged to say that Akal Channel is moving forward on and going sky high, going to 107 countries, whereas the English channel UK go to 123, and they've been in business for like many years, maybe even a century, and we're only 5 years old. So, बड़ी अच्छी तरक्की है. ये भी सिर्फ ਅਸੀਂ खुद नहीं कर सकते. ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜਦੇ ਹੋ ਆਪਣੀ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਅਕਾਲ ਚੈਨਲ ਤਰੱਕੀ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਬੜਾ ਇੰਟਰਸਟਿੰਗ ਹੈਗਾ ਮੈਂ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਮੈਂ ਉਮੀਦ ਰੱਖਦਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਐਂਡ ਤੱਕ ਵਾਚ ਕਰੋਗੇ ਕੁਝ ਮੈਡੀਕਲ ਬਾਰੇ ਹੈਗਾ ਕੁਝ ਬਹੁਤ ਇੰਟਰਸਟਿੰਗ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਮੈਂ ਬੜੇ ਅੱਛੇ ਗੈਸਟ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਅੱਜ ਕੁਝ ਮੈਡੀਕਲ ਟੀਮ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਤੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਲਾਸਟ ਵੀਕ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੀਏ ਪ੍ਰੀਤੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਕਿ ਲਾਸਟ ਵੀਕ ਵੀ ਹੈਡ Lady Singh.
That was really good.
ਜਿੱਥੇ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਗਲੋਬਲ ਸਿੱਖ ਕਾਉਂਸਲ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ this is something very new which has only been formed I think ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਐਸਟੈਬਲਿਸ਼ ਕੀਤੀ 2014 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੜਾ ਅੱਛਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਉਪਰਾਲਾ ਚੱਕਿਆ I think it's very good for the whole community.
She was nominated.
Yes, she's
so
the
much
president.
She was nominated.
ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ nominate ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ she's heading this global ਸਿੱਖ ਕਾਉਂਸਲ ਦਾ so hopefully ਸਾਡੇ in near future ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਜੋ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰੈਸ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਪਾਸ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਵਾਂਗੇ ਐਜ਼ ਦਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਗੋਜ਼ ਅਲੋਂਗ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਗੈਸਟ ਬਹੁਤ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਇਨ ਦ ਮੈਡੀਕਲ ਟੀਮ ਮੈਂ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਦਾ ਕਿ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਕਰੈਕਟ ਪ੍ਰੋਨਾਉਂਸ ਕਰਦਾ ਐਡਲ ਮੈਸਕਲ ਜੋ ਕੋ ਮੈਡੀਕਲ ਟੀਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈਗੇ ਓਕੇ ਨਾਓ ਆਈ ਕੈਨ ਰਿਵੀਲ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਡਾਇਬੀਟੀਜ਼ ਬਾਰੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਡਾਇਬੀਟੀਜ਼ ਇੱਕ ਇੰਨੀ ਕਾਮਨ ਹੈ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਏਸ਼ੀਅਨ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੇ ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਬਿਮਾਰੀ ਹੈ ਇਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਬਿਗਨਿੰਗ ਕਿਹਾ ਮੈਂ ਉਮੀਦ ਰੱਖਦਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵਾਚ ਕਰੋਗੇ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਹਿੰਟ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਐਡਵਾਈਸ ਹੋਏਗੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਮਦਦ ਹੋ ਸਕੇਗੀ ਤੇ ਉਮੀਦ ਰੱਖਦਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵਾਚ ਕਰੋਗੇ ਐਡਲ ਮੈਸਕਲ ਵੀ ਵੈਲਕਮ ਇਨ ਦ ਸ਼ੋ
Thank you.
Thank you. I like that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming. I really appreciate making an effort.
You're welcome.
How was your journey?
It wasn't bad. Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, it wasn't bad.
Thank you for coming and sharing your knowledge with everyone.
You're welcome.
It's, you know, before we talk about your profession, you specialize in that particular field. Let's, you know, because the most important thing is I kill two birds with one stone. The idea is, where did it all come from? The only way for me to find out where did it all come from into your mind, that this is what you wanted to, let's start from your childhood. Where were you born? Where did you do the schooling and all that? Then we'll talk from where you today.
Okay, thank you. My birthplace in Ethiopia.
Ethiopia.
Yes, I came from Ethiopia.
My neighboring country. Eh?
Next door to Kenya.
Kenya.
Yes. So I actually.
What place in Ethiopia is a matter of interest?
Addis Ababa.
Addis Ababa,
Yes.
of course, Addis Ababa.
Yes.
I had a stopover in Addis Ababa. Didn't get to see Ethiopia.
Oh,
I was traveling and we had a stopover in Addis Ababa.
Yeah.
This a few years ago.
Okay. So you should really see it. So I went schooling there. I had my elementary high school, and then after I finished from there, I came to England, and then I studied to become hotel managers.
What made you come to England? It's not a silly question, but it's important. Sometimes it's not easy
Family
to leave.
reunion.
Oh,
Yes,
okay,
yes.
okay.
My father was here, so we came to live with him. Obviously, all of us, we came one by one, and we joined him. For your question, that when I came here, I had a dream to become a nurse.
You knew all along?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, because I was very much interested in nursing, because my family were nurses. And
The
Okay.
family,
So,
the
yes.
background, yeah?
Yes, and also family, friends, and so on. So there is an influence, obviously. So I had the opportunity after I did my hotel management, having worked there for 2 years, I decided to actually, definitely I wanted to pursue my career in nursing. So I went and did from 2000, from 1995 to 1998. I was at university, St. George's Medical School, Tooting, in Tooting Broadway. So I did that, and then I finished that course, and then I started working as a qualified nurse in hospital settings, in community as a district nurse, school nursing, and then I chose to pursue in practice nursing. So I did my degree, again went back to university, did my degree, and then I settled in practice nursing.
You know, when you started in 95, how did you find yourself to blend in with the host community? And did you, the idea just to find out, what, you know, when I say your journey from your childhood, okay, you explained when you came over here, early years, you started your life in nursing, going into the hospitals and the colleges to learn, specialize in diabetes. But there must be some challenges on your way you had to face.
Yes,
You know.
there are so many challenges, obviously, along the line. But those challenges can be overcome because you have got aim to achieve. And I've worked very hard to get where I am now. So I actually, there are other people also inspired me to, you know, to push forward. And the subject that I was actually studying also made me to even to go further, to specialize. So that's what I did. And then after I had the, you know, when I worked in GP practices, I've learned that how diabetes affects patients in many ways. So I said to myself, this is where I wanted to
Quite
actually,
serious, isn't
yes,
it?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. So I just wanted to specialize in that and then help my patients. So that's where I did my specialty. And I did a course with
You must have
Warwick
seen
Diabetic.
a lot of different ranges of adults to children
Yes.
to illness linked and to self-inflicted diabetes, correct? Or was it more medical that you've seen?
It is, well, you can, in a way, it's not self-inflicted, but it's a lifestyle.
Lifestyle.
You know, lifestyle and also genetic as well.
Yeah, that's what,
factors as
yeah,
well.
like medical.
So yes, and so it needs a lot of education and changing mindsets about diabetes in general, and it needs a lot of hard work to better life.
Yeah, and it's
Because
obviously
patients' diabetes.
educating the parents so that their children
Absolutely,
don't
absolutely.
follow.
My specialty is actually type 2 diabetes, working with adults mainly. Obviously, like you said, that, you know, because the rise of obesity
Can we
in
just
child.
clarify, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there.
I think before we start talking,
Yeah.
really dip into
Yeah.
the disease. Well, diabetes is a disease anyway, kind of. मैं तुम दसते जावां जेडी साडी लेडी हैगी है द Moscow. Ethiopia तो है. She's born in Ethiopia, which is the neighboring country. Kenya ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਹੈ. ਸਾਡੇ ਗਵਾਂਢੀ ਸੀਗੇ ਇੱਕ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਮੁਲਕ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੁਲਕ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ, borders ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ. ਤੇ she came down to UK and study ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਦੇ ਬੈਕਗ੍ਰਾਉਂਡ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾ ਨਰਸਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੀਗੀ. ਸੋ ਮੇਰਾ ਆਈਡੀਆ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਛੋਟੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਡਿਸਾਈਡ ਕਰਦੇ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਬਣਨਾ, ਉਹ ਕਦੋਂ ਡਿਸਾਈਡ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਐਟ ਅ ਯੰਗਰ ਏਜ, ਜਦੋਂ ਸਕੂਲਿੰਗ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਜਾਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਕਾਲਜ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਉਦੋਂ ਕਰਨਾ. ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਿਮਾਰੀ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਨਾਲ ਇੱਕ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਕੈਰੀਅਰ ਦੀ ਐਡਵਾਈਸ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਕਿ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਦੋਂ ਡਿਸਾਈਡ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਕਿ ਵਾਟ ਦੇ ਰੀਅਲੀ ਵਾਂਟ ਟੂ ਬੀ ਇਨ देयर ਲਾਈਫ। ਡਾਇਬੀਟੀਜ਼ ਇਜ਼ ਬਹੁਤ ਕਾਮਨ ਹੈ, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਦੱਸ ਕੇ ਹਟਿਆ ਕਿ 1 in 4 ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਰ ਬੰਦਾ ਸਫਰ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ one way or the other। ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਡਾਇਬੀਟੀਜ਼ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ, ਉਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਡਾਇਬੀਟੀਜ਼ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਸਿਰਫ ਇੱਕ ਐਡਵਾਈਸ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, ਇਟਸ ਨਾਟ ਅ ਕੰਸਲਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ। ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਕਿ ਉਹਦੇ ਸਾਈਨ ਕੀ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ, ਪ੍ਰੀਵੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਕੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਕੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ। ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਉਮੀਦ ਰੱਖਦਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਰਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇਖੋਗੇ। ਅਗਰ ਕੋਈ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਹੋਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਕਾਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। Adele, you know, when Preeti was asking about the type of diabetes, first explain me the type of diabetes, the difference and what type of diabetes are there.
Okay, there are two types of diabetes. Type 1 and type 2 diabetes. Okay, type 1 is where patients have no insulin production. They don't have insulin. The pancreas doesn't really produce insulin, so they need.
But that's rare,
insulin.
isn't
Yes.
it?
Sorry.
Type 1 is very rare.
Yes, that's very rare. And so, but the 90% of patients type 2 diabetes, that is where they produce insulin, but it's not enough, or there is a resistance to actually utilize the insulin. So because of that, they can be given tablets, and maybe later on, after 10 years or after 15 years, they might really start injectable therapies.
I think let's
So,
talk about, let's talk about, you know, when you talk about the diabetes, I think as we discussed that type 2 diabetes is very common, especially amongst the ethnic group. Okay, before I ask the question which I meant to ask you, why is it common among the ethnic group? What's the reason?
The reason is not well, it's not really clearly defined, but it could be genetic factor. It's a lifestyle as well.
But is that right? Because obviously, I believe that it's very little part it plays being genetic. It doesn't really work that way, because it doesn't mean if it runs in the family that I will have been a diabetic patient as well. That is not the proven fact, is it, really?
Well, it is. That's also one aspect of it, obviously. But also accumulation of fat around central obesity also can bring about contributive factor to become diabetic as well. So yes, ethnicity does have impact in diabetes as well.
On the genetic
Yes.
side.
Yes. Yeah.
But so one could have it genetically, but they could have the genetic disposition,
Disposition.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then they may not actually, if they look after their health and they eat sensibly, they can prevent it.
Yes, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yes, yes. That is the message that
And
we are actually giving out. So if they are actually looking after themselves, obviously with exercise and diet,
This is
and
important. I need to tell our
changes.
viewers,
Yeah.
our people, especially older people who don't speak much English or at all English, very important part. ਅਸੀਂ diabetes ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, ਅਡਲ ਜੋ ਇੱਕ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਕੁਆਲੀਫਾਈਡ ਡਾਇਬੀਟੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈ, ਇਹ ਜ਼ਿਕਰ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਜੈਨੇਟਿਕ ਮੀਨਸ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ 'ਚ ਹੈਗਾ ਤੇ ਦੇਰ ਇਜ਼ ਅ ਪੋਸੀਬਿਲਿਟੀ ਉਹਦੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ। ਪਰ ਮੈਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਕਰਦਾ, ਜਿੰਨੀ ਕੁ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨੌਲੇਜ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, ਇਹ 100% ਰਾਈਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ, ਪ੍ਰੂਵਨ ਫੈਕਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਅਗਰ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ 'ਚ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ 'ਚ ਰਨ ਕਰੇਗੀ। ਔਰ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਪ੍ਰੀਤੀ ਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਲਫ਼ਜ਼ ਸਪੀਕ ਕੀਤਾ ਵਿਚ ਇਜ਼ ਵੈਰੀ ਇੰਟਰਸਟਿੰਗ, ਅਗਰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ 'ਚ ਰਨ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰੀਵੈਂਟ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ।
You can prevent
ਯੂ ਕੈਨ ਪ੍ਰੀਵੈਂਟ ਇਟ ਕਿਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ? ਆਪਣੀ ਡਾਈਟ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ। ਸੋ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਡਾਈਟ ਨੂੰ ਕੰਟਰੋਲ ਕਰੋਗੇ, ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ 'ਚ ਟ੍ਰੈਂਡ ਚੱਲਦਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਫਿਰ ਫਿਊਚਰ ਜਨਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਏਗੀ
ਹਾਂ, exactly,
ਖਤਮ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ
exactly.
ਇਹ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਨਾ ਬੜੀ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨਲ ਆ ਬੜੀ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਟਿਵ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਮੈਂ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਦਾ ਨਾ honestly ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਮੇਰੀ ਬੜੇ ਜ਼ਬਰਦਸਤ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰੀਦੀ ਕਿ ਅੱਛੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਈਏ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਹੋ ਸਕੇ
ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਆਮ ਲੋਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਸਾਡੀ ਗ੍ਰੈਂਡਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਸੀਗਾ ਤੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਉਹ ਹੁਣ
ਉਹ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ ਇਹ ਕਦੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨਾ ਮੰਨੋ ਕਦੇ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੋਵੇ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ 'ਚ ਰਨ ਕਰਦੀ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਹਾਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਚਾਂਸਿਸ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੇ ਨੇ ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣਗੇ ਪਰ ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਬੜੀ ਕਲੈਵਰ ਬੜੀ ਟੈਕਨੋਲੋਜੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਫਾਈਂਡ ਆਊਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰੀਵੈਂਟ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ Adele, what we talking about inherit or running in the family that if the mother and father got it then it's going to run with the children but that can be stopped according if you you can prevent it by the diet.
Well, lifestyle changes
Lifestyle
is very, very important.
The other thing is, as we know, or it doesn't just happen overnight. You know, we all know that.
Yes.
What are the signs?
The signs can be too much drinking tests, and you drink lots of water, and then you are peeing a lot as well. When the sugar level is high in your blood, obviously the body wants to get rid of it because this is not, it's not.
So going frequently urine.
Exactly. So frequency of urine tests and hunger as well.
So sorry.
Yes.
How can you say frequency of urine? Because anyone would say, oh, I go to the toilet 7 times, I go 10 times. What's the average person that somebody can recognize that, okay, I have a problem?
7-10 times is really a lot. So obviously that
But
the alarm bell should ring
I think the common
because
sense prevails. Like what happens if you want to go, you go to toilet more often during night than the daytime. Is that right? If you
yes,
that is
during
true. Okay.
During the night
Did you know
time,
that, Preeti?
especially.
Yes, there's a difference.
Especially
The thing is,
the night time.
normal if you should go once or twice during the night maximum. If you went more than 3 times, that
3-4
means there's
times,
something.
and then thirst as well because you
Exactly.
wanted to compensate
You need to
by
think.
drinking water, hydrating because the body needs water, and you are actually getting rid of a lot of fluid via urine. So you need to hydrate yourself. So it just tells you that I need more water. So you drink and then you pee again. You drink, you pee. So that really tells you a lot.
What about the weight gain? Where would the men?
And-
I believe there's a different way the men would gain weight and then the women. How would you?
During that time, obviously, that they will lose weight because they are getting rid of a lot of calories.
Okay.
So that is, that is one also sign that you are actually wasting a lot of calories and you lose weight
What I
without
meant-
planning.
What I meant was one would start putting in weight at certain places.
Yes.
First is the passing urine more often than normal. You start having a dry mouth that you want to drink more liquid. You start putting in a weight. Putting on weight is different for men than a woman. And that's my question was, where would the men put on the weight so that when that happens, they could be careful and start checking on?
No, that is true. It is linked with obesity. That's what you are trying to ask me. That is linked with the risk of having diabetes has actually greater risk with obesity. So when they are obese, especially around waist area, so the organs, major organs, are actually covered with fat. So they begin to have insulin resistance because the insulin
It's overworking and it's compensating.
Yes, and it's not really doing its job to bring down the sugar level. So that has an impact as well on diabetes management. Yes, so we always tend to advise patients to lose weight and maintain really good weight through and through, and then by managing to reduce weight, you will actually sensitize your cells to uptake the glucose
And reverse it.
So and sorry.
Then you can reverse it.
No, not reversal.
You can't reverse?
that is.
Preeti, sorry,
it's
very
not-
important because I
it's-
think today we're going to be slightly different. I think Preeti, you should try ਕਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਬੋਲਣ ਦੀ so that people can understand better.
ਅੱਛਾ, ਠੀਕ
ਅਸੀਂ
ਹੈ।
ਹੁਣੇ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਪ੍ਰੀਤੀ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਡਿਸਕਸ
ਹਾਂਜੀ।
ਕਰੋ। ਜੋ ਅਡੈਲ ਨੇ ਹੁਣੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਡਾਇਬੀਟੀਜ਼ ਓਵਰਨਾਈਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ, ਇਹਨੂੰ ਬੜਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ। ਇੱਕ ਜਿਸਮ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਜਿਸਮ ਰੱਬ ਨੇ ਇੰਨੀ ਕੁਦਰਤ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੋਡੀ ਨੂੰ ਅੰਡਰਸਟੈਂਡ ਕਰੋ ਕਿ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੁਝ ਠੀਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ। ਕੀ ਠੀਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਅੱਜ ਨਾ ਕੁਝ ਠੀਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ, ਫਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਗਨੋਰ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ।
ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਜਾਂ ਨੀਂਦ ਖਰਾਬ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ, ਤੁਸੀਂ
ਕੁਛ ਵੀ,
ਉੱਠਦੇ ਆ,
ਕੁਛ ਵੀ।
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਾਥਰੂਮ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਟਾਇਲਟ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ, ਯੂਰਿਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਪਿਸ਼ਾਬ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ, ਤੇ ਤੇਰਾ ਪੈਟਰਨ ਤੁਸੀਂ
ਸਾਰਿਆਂ
ਨੋਟਿਸ
ਤੋਂ
ਕਰੋ।
ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਟੈਪ ਬਾਈ ਸਟੈਪ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਅਗਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਾਥਰੂਮ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲੀ ਰਾਤ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਦਫਾ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹੋ ਨਾ, ਯੂ ਨੀਡ ਟੂ ਬੀ ਵਰੀਡ, ਕੁਛ ਨਾ ਕੁਛ ਖਰਾਬੀ ਹੈ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਅੱਛਾ, ਫਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ weight ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ। ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਦਮੀ ਹੈ ਅਗਰ ਉਹ ਆਪਣੀ ਵੇਸਟ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ weight ਵੱਧਦਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਨਾ, ਉਹ ਵੀ ਸਾਈਨ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਡਾਇਬੀਟੀਜ਼ ਦਾ ਖਤਰਾ ਹੈਗਾ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ।
ਲੇਡੀਜ਼ weight ਪਾਉਂਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਥਾਈਜ਼ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ। ਸੋ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਫਿਰ ਨਾਲ ਦੀ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮਾਊਥ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਡਰਾਈ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ, ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸੁੱਕਦਾ ਮੂੰਹ,
ਤੇ
ਤੁਹਾਡਾ
ਤੁਸੀਂ
ਦਿਲ
ਫਿਰ
ਕਰਦਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਪਾਣੀ ਪੀ ਜਾ, ਪਾਣੀ ਪੀ ਜਾਵਾਂ।
ਪਾਣੀ ਪੀਣਾ।
ਇੱਕ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਮੂੰਹ ਸੁੱਕਣ ਕਰਕੇ ਇੱਕ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਾਥਰੂਮ ਜਾਸਤੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹੋ, ਤੁਸੀਂ weight ਜਾਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਥਾਈਜ਼ ਤੇ ਜੇ ਲੇਡੀ ਹੈ, ਜੇ ਆਦਮੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਵੇਸਟ ਤੇ ਪਾਉਂਦੇ ਹੋ, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਡਾਇਰੈਕਸ਼ਨ 'ਚ ਵਾਕ ਕਰ
That's
ਰਹੇ ਹੋ।
ਠੀਕ ਹੈ।
ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਦ ਟਾਈਮ
Yeah.
ਯੂ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਵਰਿੰਗ।
ਤੇ ਉਸ ਗੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਗਨੋਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ।
ਇਗਨੋਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ, ਬਹੁਤ
ਇੱਥੇ ਲੋਟ
ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ।
ਆਫ ਸਾਡੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਚ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਗਨੋਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਜਾਂ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਦੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਅਲਰਟ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਆਪਣੀ ਬੋਡੀ ਨੂੰ ਕਿ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਪਿਆ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਬੋਡੀ ਨੂੰ। ਇਹ ਵੀ ਸਾਇੰਸ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਨਾ।
ਪਰ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਬੇਸ਼ੱਕ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਬੜੀ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ। ਲਾਸਟ ਵੀਕ ਮੈਂ ਕੋਈ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਲੇਡੀ ਦਾ ਫੋਨ ਆਇਆ ਕਿ ਉਹਨੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਬਲੱਡ ਟੈਸਟ ਭੇਜਿਆ ਜਨਰਲ ਬਲੱਡ ਟੈਸਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਤੇ ਉਹ ਬਲੱਡ ਟੈਸਟ ਦਾ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਹੈ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਉਹਦੀ ਸ਼ੂਗਰ ਬੜੀ ਹਾਈ ਹੈ ਉਹਦੇ ਬਲੱਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਤੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਬੜੀ ਹਾਈ ਡੋਜ਼ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਟ੍ਰੀਟਮੈਂਟ ਪਾ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕਿ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸੂਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੁਣ ਦਿਸ ਮੋਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ। ਸ਼ੀ ਇਜ਼ ਫੀਲਿੰਗ ਸਿਕ, ਰੋਟੀ ਪਚਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਖਾਣੀ ਪਏਗੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਉਹਦਾ ਡਾਇਬੀਟੀਜ਼ ਦਾ ਇਲਾਜ ਹੀ ਹੋਈ ਹੈਗਾ। ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਹੈਰਾਨ ਕਿ ਹੁਣ ਨਾ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਤੇ ਪ੍ਰੀਤੀ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ, ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ।
ਪਰ ਹੁਣ ਕੀ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ?
No, but you know, why should you wait for the blood test ਫਿਰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗੇ?
ਉਹੀ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਵੇਟ ਕਰਦੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਚਲੋ ਰਹਿਣ ਦੋ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਵੱਧ ਹੀ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਕੰਮ।
Okay, very interesting. We'll talk about this. The time
Yes.
goes so quick. We only got like 3 minutes before the break.
And also, if I can add, that they feel tired as well.
Oh yes, huh?
Yes,
and
I've got to say,
sleepy.
ਥਕਾਵਟ
as
ਵੀ
well, yes.
ਮਹਿਸੂਸ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਬੜੀ।
Yes,
Yes.
because the cells are not really getting glucose to give them energy. So because of that, they feel so tired and lethargic. And
And this is all type
blood.
2.
Sorry?
Right, this is what we're
Oh,
talking about, type 2.
Type 2 and type 1?
And type-
yes, of
type
course,
1.
yes. So, I mean, before they diagnosed, obviously.
But tell me,
That is, yeah.
when people come to you with diagnosed being diabetic, right? Sometimes some people take it very seriously. They get like a shock. They can't handle it. How do you treat? How do you handle those?
Well, that's a good question.
I always like to ask a good question. You know?
That's a really good question because that is the challenge for clinicians. You have to be all-rounded and you have to really understand the journey of the patients, how difficult it would be to accept the reality, and that also affects how you treat them as well, because if they are not really accepting, if they are not really understanding the whole problem of diabetes, that brings difficulties as well.
Yeah, because not
So
everybody
you
wants
need-
to inject themselves.
No, no, of course not. So you need to really walk slowly with them, and also making sure that in psychological, you have to be holistically approachable, approaching this whole situation, because you wouldn't really win otherwise. So education. Talking to patients in great lengths about diabetes, about the complications.
But I think now,
and yes.
So I think now,
I
the
think,
main
pretty sorry, I'll
yeah.
apologize. We're going to go for a break. And then we're going to have a short break. We'll be keep talking. ਅਸੀਂ ਥੋੜੀ break ਲੈਣੇ ਆ, time ਬੜੀ fast ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ. ਬੜਾ ਅੱਛਾ question ਹੈ, ਬੜਾ ਅੱਛਾ subject ਹੈ. Please just ਮੈਂ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਦਾ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ program ਜਿੰਨਾ interesting ਹੋ ਸਕੇ, ਜਿੰਨੀ knowledge ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੱਕ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਸਕੇ, ਤੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ 'ਚ ਫਰਕ ਪਵੇ ਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬੜਾ ਅੱਛਾ ਲੱਗੇਗਾ. ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਰਹੋ. ਅਸੀਂ ਥੋੜੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਲਾ ਕੇ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਮੁਲਾਕਾਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ. ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ.
ਅਕਾਲ ਚੈਨਲ ਨੂੰ ਸਬਸਕ੍ਰਾਈਬ ਕਰੋ। ਨਵੀਂ ਵੀਡੀਓਜ਼ ਦੀ ਨੋਟੀਫਿਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਬੈਲ ਆਈਕਨ ਨੂੰ ਕਲਿੱਕ ਕਰਨਾ ਨਾ ਭੁੱਲਣਾ।
ਬੈਕ ਇਨ ਦ ਸੈਕੰਡ ਪਾਰਟ, ਅਗਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੁਣੀ ਜੁਆਇਨ ਕੀਤਾ, ਬੜਾ ਅੱਛਾ ਡਾਇਬੀਟੀਜ਼ ਬਾਰੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ. ਸਾਡੇ ਪਾਸ ਇੱਕ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਫੀਲਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਫੁੱਲੀ ਟ੍ਰੇਨਡ ਵਿਦ ਲੋਟ ਆਫ ਡਿਗਰੀਜ਼ ਬਿਹਾਈਂਡ ਟੂ ਗੋ ਵਿਦ ਦ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸ਼ਨ, ਅਡੈਲ ਮੈਸਕੋ, ਜੋ ਇਥੋਪੀਆ ਤੋਂ ਆਏ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਇੰਗਲੈਂਡ 'ਚ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਾਫੀ ਸਾਲ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਨੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਲੈ ਕੇ. Was that in King's College, wasn't it?
Yes,
King's
my
College.
master's in King's College.
You took your degree there.
Yes, I did
That's
my
good.
master's. Yeah,
Masters in
public health.
ਬੜਾ ਅੱਛਾ ਸਬਜੈਕਟ ਹੈ, ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਸਾਰੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ one way or the other ਸਫਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ. ਤੇ she's enjoying ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨੇ ਫੀਲਡ ਪਿਕ ਕੀਤਾ, is full of life in sense, because she loves helping people out. ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ. As usual ਸਾਡੇ ਪਾਸ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਇੱਕ it's kind of thought of the day. ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬੜਾ ਅੱਛਾ ਲੱਗਿਆ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਭੇਜਿਆ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਮ ਦਾ ਜ਼ਿਕਰ ਨਾ ਕਰਿਓ. Some people don't want to be mentioned their names, so ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ it's quite okay. ਛੋਟਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਇੱਕ ਹੈਗੀ, ਬੜੀ ਸਟਰੋਂਗ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ. Make peace with your past so it doesn't spoil your present. ਪ੍ਰੀਤੀ ਸੁਣਦੇ ਪਏ ਨਾ? Make peace with your past so it doesn't spoil your present. What others think of you, this is especially for you, Preeti. What others think of you is none of your business. Yeah, we worry a lot.
Yeah,
Yes.
What, you know what? Most of the time, especially Asians, worry about
Yeah.
what other people think about you.
that's right.
Yeah?
Yes, true.
It's a very strong kind of thought of the day. Time heals almost everything. ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਾ ਕਿ ਵਕਤ, ਟਾਈਮ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਹਰ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਉਹ ਠੀਕ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ. ਵਕਤ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਟਾਈਮ ਦਿਓ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮੁਸੀਬਤਾਂ ਘੱਟ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ. Time heals almost everything. Give time some time. How
Yeah.
beautiful that is.
True.
Yeah.
It is.
Give time some time. ਆਪਣੇ ਟਾਈਮ ਨੂੰ ਥੋੜਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਦਿਓ.
Patience.
ਹੈਂ?
Yes.
Patience.
Patience ਦਿਓ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਠੀਕ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ. Don't compare life with others. Do not compare your life with others.
100%.
You have no idea what their journey is all about. Smile. You don't own all the problems in this world.
Oh, so
Absolutely.
good.
Yeah?
That's good.
You know,
Really
this
good.
is so important. ਅਸੀਂ
Very good.
ਅਸੀਂ ਅੱਧੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਅਸੀਂ ਵਰੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਮੇਰੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਕੀ ਸੋਚਦਾ ਹੈ. ਯੂ نو ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਹੈ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪ ਲੀਡ ਕਰੋ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਲੀਡ ਕਰੋ. ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਦੁੱਖ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਹੁੰਚਾ ਰਹੇ, ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹਾਰਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ. Be happy and enjoy life.
stress lani hai na?
Why stress?
You
Why
get
stress?
stressed and then you start eating and then you're going to get diabetes.
There you go. You get
because
diabetes
you're
with the stress.
comfort eating. You're comfort eating, है ना? That no, it's the fact. It's
ਨਹੀਂ
the
ਪਰ ਇੱਕ
truth. It's the
ਸੀਰੀਅਸ
truth.
ਨੋਟ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪ੍ਰੀਤੀ ਨੇ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਨਾ, ਵੈਰੀ ਸੀਰੀਅਸ ਨੋਟ, ਸਟ੍ਰੈਸ ਨਾਲ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਿਮਾਰੀਆਂ ਰਿਲੇਟਡ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਨੇ.
100%.
ਬਹੁਤ ਬਿਮਾਰੀਆਂ
And
ਰਿਲੇਟਡ
comfort
ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਨੇ.
eating, you
I
do
can
lot of
tell you,
comfort
I
eating.
can name them. No, ਮੈਂ professional medical ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, but ਥੋੜੀ ਬਹੁਤੀ common sense, heart trouble, you know, stroke ਵਗੈਰਾ, diabetes ਵਗੈਰਾ, and stress itself is just bad.
Yes,
It doesn't help at all.
But the quote that you read out was applying to everyone.
Apply to
It
everyone.
applies to everyone, and it's actually really
To some people,
true.
it applies more than the others.
the ones that worry and then they reach out and binge eat because they're so worried about what people think. And in today's society, like teenage girls or young women, well, actually not even teenage, any woman or even males these days, they're all so conscious about their bodies. And if they're so stressed about what people are thinking about them and the daily stresses and what
That's
did
the
you say,
least
you know?
worry you should have. The
That
least worry.
also people go and reach out to eat extra food and then they're not thinking. If they didn't think about what people thought of themselves or them,
ਇਹ
they
ਸਾਰੀ
wouldn't really
ਇਹ ਸਾਰੀ
eat food.
ਸਟੋਰੀ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਮੈਂ ਨਿਚੋੜ ਕੱਢ ਕੇ ਪਤਾ ਕੀ ਕਰਨਾ, give time some time. सारे स्टोरी ਦਾ ਨਿਚੋੜ ਹੈਗਾ ਵਕਤ ਨੂੰ ਥੋੜਾ ਵਕਤ ਦਵੋ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਠੀਕ ਕਰੇਗਾ ਰੱਬ
ਯਾ
ਅੱਛੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ
ਰੱਬ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਛੱਡ ਦਿਓ
ਰੱਬ ਤੇ ਛੱਡ ਦੋ ਪਰ ਕੁਝ ਆਪ ਵੀ ਹਿੰਮਤ ਕਰਨੀ ਪੈਂਦੀ ਹੈ anyway coming back to you Adele.
Yes.
Lovely name you got there, you know.
Thank you.
Ethiopian.
Thank you.
Adele, you know, it seems like we were talking about the profession. You had degrees and masters in this particular subject. Seems you got a passion, satisfied.
Absolutely.
How do you know?
Absolutely.
Explain me that.
I got the passion because a lot of patients have changed their lives when I was actually looking after them. I'm talking about 6 years ago, when I was in practice nursing. So I said to myself that definitely this is the route I wanted to take, and I can see the changes in them. I can see the improvement of their diabetes, and also the results that I'm seeing, I've seen. Has given me the boost
and
to
what
pursue.
lifestyle changes have you seen people make?
Well, I have seen patients who actually came to me with high blood sugar level
Okay.
for years and years.
Okay.
And then when they come to see me, obviously that, I give time, I make sure that, tirelessly, I educate them about diabetes, how to look after themselves and so on. So just moral support as well, as
Okay.
well as also choosing
What
the
do-
right medications
What do
and so on.
you think makes an individual, once they've been told by a GP or the doctor that you have type 2 diabetes, what makes the majority of people that you've seen make that lifestyle change? Is it fear, or is it because their body's shutting down?
I think the to begin with, when they are diagnosed, obviously, like early on we talked about it, that accepting the condition, and then if once they have accepted their diabetes, they will start looking after themselves, obviously. But when when they come to see me, obviously I would be non-judgmental. Diabetes is not really something that they bring it on themselves.
Okay.
So that's good communication skills with
Okay.
patients.
What did you do to make
Understanding.
them feel better, quicker? Or I'll tell you something why I'm asking this question, because this is true, honest. There's a guy about 40, early 40s. He was diagnosed, very fit guy, used to go for exercise and all that. And all of a sudden was diagnosed being a diabetic. He couldn't handle it. He couldn't handle it. He used to cry his eyes out. And I swear, Adele, he said to me, I'm going to do with my life. I don't want to live any longer. He could not face being on a young age, being diagnosed, being a diabetic.
True.
So if somebody like comes up to you, and it's not easy. How do you do it? How do you do it?
It is
And
not. It is
then
not.
I can understand your satisfaction if you have put them back on the road
Yes.
and started living and accept what they are suffering from.
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
and,
I've
and you know.
faced that. I've faced that before, several times actually. People who who were diagnosed about 5-6 years ago, and they started off medications, and they were not really taking their medications whatsoever, and their diabetes starts rising, getting worse, and not managing properly, and then they come to me. And obviously that you can see the trend where they have actually didn't want to improve. So you like I said to you earlier on, that you walk with them. You have to understand
And is
where
there-
the problem is first before you move in to treat the condition. So if you just making sure that they are aware of their condition, the complications of unmanaged
And then
diabetes.
do you refer them to counselling, or because there's a
If-
lot of impact
Yes,
on psychological
yes. Yes,
relevance?
if that is if they give consent, that we give, we send them to see clinical psychologists or counselors.
Now the thing is,
so-
what I want to stress is a lot of people, you've got the medical field and then you've got the alternative medicine. Okay, and a lot of people that get diagnosed do go to alternative medicine to think, okay, I'm going to change my lifestyle, I'm not going to go on this medication. They go and see alternative medicine. What are your views on that?
Alternative medicine? I cannot really comment on that.
Okay.
Because I don't know anything about that.
Exactly.
Okay.
But
But alongside,
having what do you call it, other outlets for them to
Okay.
better their diabetes, for example, that psychologists called input, referring them to clinical psychologists or to counselor.
so we can
that
go in
is
hand
fine.
by hand. One
That
can.
is, yes, and also dietitian as well.
Yes,
They have to-
dietitianist
yes.
and nutritionist.
Yes,
They can go
yes,
hand in
yes.
hand. One doesn't have to see a dietitianist and they can't see a alternative therapist. You can do both together.
No, I cannot
No?
really comment
Okay.
on that because I'm
Very
on
good
a
answer.
medical.
I'm really happy with that.
Yes, I'm on medical
that's very professional
aspect
advice.
from a medical perspective, so I cannot really comment on that.
See, this is
What-
really important because
yes.
the people need to know about this.
Yes, but having said that, I'm glad that you mentioned that because our cultural background is actually that they seek out for alternative
Exactly.
therapies. They may not really tell us.
Which a
and when
majority
you
of people don't.
are- yes.
Adele, I was
And-
explaining earlier,
Yeah.
diabetes is known as the mother of diseases, all diseases. Explain me, why is this phrase used? I can understand why and where and how, but you being professional, like you to explain what does it really mean being the mother of all diseases.
The mother of all disease.
You heard that phrase, haven't
yes.
you? I hope you have.
I have heard about it, but we don't really use that phrase
Not in the medical field.
in medical
Terms.
However, because it affects a lot of things, by not managing diabetes, it has got a lot of implications in the long run. Heart problem, kidney problem, eye problem, feet problem, and there are so many things can actually go wrong when you are not really following proper treatment and also bringing down the sugar level
Okay.
to acceptable level. So yes, because diabetes, it doesn't really stop them from doing whatever they like. They can have whatever they want, but
Need to
the
manage it
complications
Yeah.
comes
with that.
without even early signs. By the time when they found out, it may be too late. But that is the thing that you are actually try to educate patients.
Okay.
Not only treating the sugar, but also to actually
Yeah.
improve.
Moving forward
the-
from what you just said, because before we run out of time, I would like you to look at the camera. Give your general advice to people. How
That-
can they prevent
Yeah.
prevention, then cure? What can they do, like diet, exercise, whatever? I would like you to explain in your medical terms what one needs to do, looking at that camera there.
Okay. Well, I would really advise strongly if you can do regular checkup, blood tests, and also that if you are overweight, try to lose weight, and if you have got a family history, like parents who have got diabetes, also the likelihood or the having diabetes is higher. So keep that in mind and making sure that you have regular checkups. And if you do find out that there is a problem, address it immediately, because if you leave it too long, then the diabetes will actually affect, or you might really end up having complications. So that is my advice, but I hope that you'll take on board.
No, that was great, lovely. थोड़ा बहुत मैं अपने व्यूअर्स ਨੂੰ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਸਮਝਾ ਦੇਣਾ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸਮਝ ਪਾਈ ਹੈ, ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਬੜੀ ਸੌਫਟ ਬੋਲਦੇ ਨੇ, ਥੋੜੀ ਬਹੁਤੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਈ। ਬੇਸਿਕਲੀ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਲਾਈਫ ਸਟਾਈਲ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਚੇਂਜ ਕਰਨਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ। when I say ਲਾਈਫ ਸਟਾਈਲ, ਆਪਣਾ ਡਾਈਟ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਹੈ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਖਾਂਦੇ ਹੋ, ਕਿਹੜੇ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੇ ਖਾਂਦੇ ਹੋ, ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਖੁਰਾਕ ਖਾਂਦੇ ਹੋ, ਕਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਡਾਇਬੀਟੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਸਤੀ ਕੰਟਰੀਬਿਊਟ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ ਛੇਤੀ ਡਾਇਬੀਟੀਜ਼ ਪਕੜਨ ਦੀ।
ਤੇ ਜੇ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਫਾਈਂਡ ਆਊਟ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ
ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਫਾਈਂਡ ਆਊਟ ਕਰੋ, ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰੋ। ਜੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕਾਲ ਚੈਨਲ ਦਾ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਕਰੋ, ਇੱਥੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਹਰ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਆਫ ਕੋਰਸ ਵੀ ਟਾਕ ਐਵਰੀਥਿੰਗ। ਆਪਣਾ weight ਦੇਖੋ, ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲੀ ਲੇਡੀਜ਼, ਅਗਰ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਥਾਈਜ਼ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ weight ਪੈਂਦਾ, ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਜ਼ੁਬਾਨ ਸੁੱਕਦੀ ਹੈ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਟਾਇਲਟ ਮੋਰ ਆਫਟਨ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹੋ ਰਾਤ ਨੂੰ, ਇਹ ਸਾਈਨ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਡਾਇਬੀਟੀਜ਼ ਦੀ। ਹਰ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਥੋੜੇ ਸਾਈਨ ਨੇ। ਇਹ ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਪੜ੍ਹਿਆ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ। ਇਹ ਸਾਈਨ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਆਮ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਕਿ ਮੇਰਾ ਰਾਤੀ ਮੂੰਹ ਬੜਾ ਸੁੱਕਦਾ, ਮੈਂ ਟਾਇਲਟ 4-5 ਦਫਾ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ, ਜਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ weight ਵੱਧਦਾ ਪਿਆ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ, these kind of things, ਪੈਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸੇਕ ਮਾਰਦਾ ਹੈ ਬਹੁਤ ਜਾਸਤੀ। ਕਾਫੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਸਾਈਨ ਹੈਗੇ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਨੂੰ ਦਿਖਾਓ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ, ਅਸੀਂ ਨਾ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਰੱਬ ਨੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਜਿਸਮ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਨਾ, ਬੜੀ ਕਮਾਲ ਦੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਜਿਸਮ ਹੈ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਸੰਭਾਲਣਾ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਸਮਝਣਾ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਬਿਹੇਵ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ।
ਹਾਂ, ਉਹੀ ਪੈਸੇ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹਾਰਡ ਕਮਾਈ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਪੈਸੇ ਕਮਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ, ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸਿਹਤ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਿਗਲੈਕਟ ਕਰ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਆ।
ਕੀ ਬਾਤ ਹੈ, ਕੀ ਬਾਤ ਹੈ।
ਸਿਹਤ ਜਦੋਂ ਚਲੇਗੀ ਉਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਫਿਰ ਪੈਸੇ ਉਸੇ ਸਿਹਤ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਲਾਉਣੇ ਆ।
ਬੜੀ ਪ੍ਰੀਤੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਕਮਾਲ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਰੀਅਲੀ ਨਾਈਸ। ਦੇਖੋ ਪਤਾ ਕੀ, ਮੈਂ ਲਾਸਟ ਟਾਈਮ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਬੜੀ ਦਿਲ ਨੂੰ ਗੱਲ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਦਫਾ ਨਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਸੁਣਦੇ ਹੋ, ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਅੱਛੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਨਾ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਪੱਲੇ ਪਕੜਿਆ ਕਰੋ। ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮੇਰਾ ਬੱਚਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ ਹੈਲਥ ਵਾਲਾ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪੜ੍ਹਿਆ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਬਿਮਾਰੀ ਵਾਲਾ ਭਰਿਆ ਹੋਵੇ। ਉਹ ਪੜ੍ਹਿਆ ਕਾਹਦਾ ਹੋਇਆ? ਇਹ ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਸਮਥਿੰਗ ਯੂ ਨੀਡ ਟੂ ਡਿਸਾਈਡ ਕਿ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੈਲਥੀ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਡਿਗਰੀ ਦੇ ਕੇ ਤੇ ਬਿਮਾਰੀਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਬਿਠਾ ਕੇ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ।
ਯੋਰ ਹੈਲਥ ਇਜ਼ ਯੋਰ ਵੈਲਥ।
ਐਬਸੋਲੂਟਲੀ। ਇਹ ਲਫ਼ਜ਼ ਬੜੇ ਐਵੇਂ ਥੋੜਾ ਬਣੇ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ। ਐਨੀਵੇ ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ really great, because this is something we can talk for a very long time.
I know.
1 hour is not enough.
True.
And
it's just an alert to alert people.
Yes, true.
one thing, we're talking about your satisfaction, Adele. We were Adele, isn't it?
Yes.
Adele.
Yes,
Adele.
that's right.
I'm never
yes.
going to forget the name. It's such a nice name, Adele. And
Thank you.
you see somebody comes to you totally depressed, thinking, this is it, my life, I've done it with it, I'm going to die, blah, blah, blah. And when you explain to them, when you put them right, when the diabetes is under control, and the patient come back to you very happy and smiling, that must be a big satisfaction to you.
Oh, that is
It's
the
rewarding,
greatest,
isn't it?
Yeah.
You can't really buy it.
It's a big
believe me, with
achievement,
money.
isn't it, for them? It's an
It
achievement
is.
for you as well.
It is tremendously, honestly. I mean, it's not really something that you can just get it. It's yes, sometimes you fail as well. Obviously, depending on the patients who can make the change, but most of the time. People do listen, and understanding of the condition what really helps them actually to change.
Do you know
their
something? This is, I'm sure, I hope you're going to agree with me. It's the medicine doesn't change you so much. What changes your behavior
And your mind.
I know how you treat the patient, how you accept
Absolutely.
the patient, how you talk to the patient,
Yes.
and how you give them a confidence.
Absolutely.
Yes.
True.
That works better than the medication.
Because that's when the patient will then have a trigger in their mind to actually take on board what you're saying,
Yes.
and the knowledge that you're going to empower them with for them to make that life-changing decision.
Absolutely. It's like you said, it's empowerment to patients who, because they live with diabetes. They come to see me for 20 minutes, half an hour, and off they go. But between that time and until they come back to see me after 2-3 months later, obviously
can
that
happen,
anything
yeah.
can happen, but they have to follow that, you know, that strict regime. But they do change. They do change their, you know, they go and start gym,
Well, it is-
exercise or
Yeah.
diet and so on. So, I mean, obviously, it takes time to do that with patients, but it's well worth it. It is,
Yeah.
it is something that you cannot really put any value.
Another thing I must stress to
Yeah.
even Sarianu, that if you do have the health condition of type 2 diabetes, that you should find someone that you can talk to and relate to, because
Absolutely.
that's the number one key between patient and
Health
nurse,
profession,
health
yes.
practitioner or doctor.
Even patient to patient.
Yeah.
The one who had
Yes.
diabetes for a longer
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
personally think they probably can give a better advice to the newly diagnosed patient. I'll tell you why. I find doctors very blunt in a sense, because they need to be blunt, but patient doesn't want to hear that. Yeah,
No.
because this is disheartening and discouraging. The patient goes home totally depressed, like for the example.
Because they don't know what they're feeling.
Exactly.
You haven't
know,
been through their
They go to the doctor,
footsteps.
being
Yes.
diagnosed as being diabetic type 2, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And the patient got a lot of questions to ask. He's totally lost in his mind. Why, where, and how? Why am I a sufferer? I'm so young. Why did I got that? The patient has got time to think.
And then they leave.
And the doctor says, if he asks you a question like, what happens now? Oh, this is lifetime. You're going to be the lifetime patient for diabetes. You're going to have a medication.
Yeah.
I think this is really off-putting.
Yeah.
Even the doctor knows, the patient doesn't know
True,
that.
true.
But then the doctor should put in a nicer way, okay, you can control it and feel you don't have a diabetic.
Yeah. I
Then
think-
saying, oh, this is a lifetime, you got to have a medication, you have to have
Yes.
insulin, blah, blah, blah. And the patient goes home depressed, you don't know what he's going
yes,
to do to himself.
true,
Exactly.
and I get that as well a lot. I get that a lot as well, resistance to change. But I think it comes back to good communication skills.
Good
with
communication, that
patients.
would be it, yes.
With patients, and it takes time as well. You know, don't forget that. You know, to start talking about, you know, when you have got full clinic, and so on. But make time, really, and it does really pay you back,
Yeah.
because if you really communicate with that patient, you'll get the reward, because the patients feel that, you know, they have listened very well, and they are actually taken seriously.
Yeah.
It's not really just, you know, just writing medications to them,
And giving,
what
yeah,
they call giving
prescribing.
prescription and so on. Involving patients is the most important thing in
Yeah.
decision making.
We're really running out of time. There's one question coming to mind, which is very important from the
Yeah.
medical point of view.
Yeah.
Recently, I've become to know there's somebody been diagnosed being diabetic, and they've been put on a very heavy dose. Heavy dose meaning, I've seen people taking 500 ml twice a day, maybe 3 times a day. But the lady has been diagnosed diabetic, and she's taking 1,000 ml in the morning and 1 in the evening, twice a day. And she cannot take food. She throws out. She's feeling sick. Started losing weight. And she's gone depressed totally now. Now, I have not heard people with this kind of side effect when they have this medication, especially for the diabetic. Is that, I don't think this is common, but why does that happen?
Well, if the
Type 2?
side effect of the medication, if it's actually clearly says that, obviously that she's having probably that's a side effect. But I wonder if she has actually seek medical advice from her GP,
No,
because
that's a GP. we
can change if one medication is not really working.
Oh,
we
I
can
can
change to
answer that.
to
All
another.
she, or whatever medication she was having, she was feeling sick, and all these side effects which she was having. She went back to the doctor again, the GP, and he gave her a coated tablet, which probably helps digesting it better. I don't know,
Yes.
but that had made no change at all.
Well, she has to really go back to her GP and then
Do you know what the answer was?
talk to
Do you know what
her
the
GP.
answer
Yes,
was?
Yeah.
Sorry, you got to keep having medication.
No.
I swear.
Oh my God.
I mean it. This is the answer. She had it. The third time she went in there, and she's suffering badly even now, real badly, illness. She's throwing out. She cannot digest the food. She would not eat. Started losing the weight, depressed, and she's
No, there's
feeling
definitely
dizzy.
something wrong there.
Yeah,
No, there's
yeah.
definitely
But
something wrong
she
there.
went back again. The doctor said you got to keep
Well,
having
she
it.
has to. She has to go back and see him again. Because otherwise it's just a waste of time. And also, if it is really, really like that, obviously that there are other alternative therapies, obviously, because
Yeah.
we always get that kind of, people who react that way. But if I can't comment on her particular this particular person because she's not in front of me and I don't know the condition, the situation, but definitely I would really strongly advise that to go back to her GP and then seek help. Oh yeah.
Anyway, we only got just over a minute to go. What are your future plans now? What you're heading to do? Are you happy with what you've done, or you got to go some more master's degree, or have you done it all?
I've done it all.
You've
I've
done
done
it
it all. I've done it all. I've finished everything.
Okay.
And probably that I'm actually thinking to to specialize in diabetes, but other things to
And
take
educate
taken,
people
yes.
more?
Oh yes, it's so
Do you
I'm
run,
in
you run some
education
classes
as
or
well.
some lectures, some workshop?
Sorry.
I said you run some classes or some
Yes,
workshop.
for
You do that?
patients. For patients, yes,
For the patients,
we do.
really?
Yes, we do. Yes, and patients' education is
Lot-
very important
Is it a
as
big
well.
turnout? Big turnout. People. lot of people-
Definitely.
Do they
yes.
find that helpful?
Sorry. Yes, of course. It is really
Yeah.
rewarding.
Yeah.
Obviously, that you'll see that patients are
Adele,
enrolling.
thank you so much for
Yeah.
coming. Sorry, sometimes I have to really cut you off quickly.
You're welcome.
This is how we go. Please,
You're
अच्छी तरह
welcome.
प्रोग्राम देखते रहो. Next week same time फिर मुलाकात होगी. तब तक रब रखा. सत श्री
Sat Sri
अकाल
Akal
जी.
ji.
Thank you.